Right. Dr. Dilip, we are live now. On a Sunday morning, this is going to be very, very different. It's also a full circle for me as Shailesh because I met Dr. Nadkarni about 12 years back and he was playing golf in the golf club, Presidency Golf Club, Chennai, and we were doing some serious stuff inside, in medical and everything with the pharma people. And that is where Dr. Dilip Nadkarni barged in. He said, let me do something very different today. And that is how we had a 3 hours lecture on a very different subject where we de-stressed, we had music, and we also learned bits of golf. And that is how this particular subject came about, which is in front of you, which is known as Kamsu. But Dilip, this is your first edition, which I possess, it's 2008. And I hope one day I will be able to auction it at a good price. So let me introduce Dr. Dilip. Dr. Dilip Nadkarni is one of the most accomplished orthopedic surgeons who does advanced arthroscopic surgery. But this is what his profession is. But what he has built over a period of time is his musical skills. On Sensitivity Yoga, we have discussed a lot of yoga asanas, seriousness, you see all the unprecedented pandemic times. But today is going to be different. Let's live life a little more. And what else but bringing music into our life. So Dr. Dilip Nadkarni is also an avid golfer. He has been a national level tennis player, and he has his own method of doing his goals, which is Swara Yoga, golf program, something which brings ultimate peace. I would say when he wrote this book, he also called himself Baba Kamdev. So let us hear from Baba Kamdev, a kind of music which relaxes you and which gets you to a higher level of consciousness. And his passion for music was so great. I understand, Doctor, your sons are also named after those swaras, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
So in yoga, we say those 7 chakras also match those 7 swaras. And I'm sure I mean, a lot of these yogis go to the Himalayas, to do a lot of Kriya yoga to reach that Kundalini. And I suppose the singers must be reaching the Kundalini every time you sing an amazing. So this, I would say, for sensory yoga people today is something that is awesome. Let us reach that Kundalini with you all over. I want to sing a song, but I want to dilute the whole thing. It's all over.
Good morning, Shailesh, and my dear friends who have taken out time on this lovely Sunday morning. And I'm hoping and praying that the cyclone bypasses us, and India is not going to bear the brunt of this cyclone. So that's my early morning good wish and prayer, and I hope with the power of Kam Sutra we'll be successful. Now, Shailesh and I, as he said, go a long way, and from a mundane golf round which was rained out, I was roped into giving a beautiful session to a very receptive audience. And the birth of CALM, Kam Sutra, happened sometime around that time. And I had written this book. You would ask, as an orthopedic surgeon, what is your role apart from giving stress to the anesthetist? Are you qualified to speak on stress? So I said, my lord, I am married for so many years. I am qualified to speak on stress. Calm Sutra, CALM Sutra, is a formula which I have written for myself to be calm, relaxed, happy, and healthy in this world of turmoil, external and internal. My interest came when I saw a lot of patients with genuine backaches and knee pains. And when we did a clinical exam and an MRI, there was nothing. And if we probed a little deeper, we found out that maybe stress was causing something known as psychosomatic manifestation, which means stress causes the body to react in a particular way, and it actually manifests as a body condition. And a little bit of music, meditation, deep breathing, yogasanas, golf for some people, traveling, chilling out with friends. These are various Kam Sutras. My next book is A to Z of Kam Sutra, which is almost ready now, out for publication. A for awareness, B for breathing, C for taking a calm pause. And today's topic, music, comes as the M. Now, music and I, we go a long way. Since childhood, I have been an avid listener and singer of bhajans in our colony during the Gokulashtami. And each of these bhajans had a rag to it. Later on, I started playing the harmonium, and I used to go in a trance. My association with the harmonium was when I was studying for my Pharmac exam. My mother was learning harmonium, and she was going one note off in possibly what I think was Rag Kalavati, and I came out and said, enough of these drugs. And I told Mom, this is the tune. And I don't know whether it's God sent that the first time I touched the harmonium, I could identify that she was not touching the pancham. Yeah, Shailesh, you are saying something? I think you're gone mute. I can't hear you.
Yeah. So fantastic. So I wish to go to the local temple and see these Bhajani mandals, and
Yeah.
that absolutely trance, the chorus, the harmonium, and the tabla. And I think we got that wavelength to catch
Yep.
that.
So let me welcome everybody by saying, कहना है आज तुमसे ये पहली बार हो, तुम ही तो लाई हो जीवन में मेरे प्यार प्यार प्यार। तुमसे कहने वाली और भी है प्यारी बातें, सामने सबके बोलो कैसे कह दूं ये सारी बातें आज, मगर बस इतना ही करना है इकरार, तुम ही तो लाई हो जीवन में मेरे प्यार प्यार प्यार। So, ladies and gentlemen, music has power. There's one song in Hindi filmy music. I'm a big fan of filmy music, and many of these tunes come from genuine rags from Hindustani classical music. And this is one song written by, I think, Shailendra, in which Manna Dey has sung beautifully. In these two lines, can you hear the Tanpura? Okay. संगीत मन को पंख लगाए, गीतों की रिमझिम रस बरसाए, संगीत मन को पंख लगाए, गीतों की रिमझिम रस बरसाए, स्वर की साधना, स्वर की साधना परमेश्वर की, सुर ना सजे क्या गाऊं मैं, सुर के बिना जीवन सूना। संगीत मन को पंख लगाए. क्या बात है. It's absolutely true. Because whenever I'm in the company of music, again, it has to be somewhere locked in a room, because if I keep singing at home, my wife tells me, why haven't you gone to play golf? Jokes apart, jokes apart, why? This is the truth, I think. George Bernard Shaw said that hell is full of amateur musicians. So, now, संगीत मन को पंख लगाए, स्वर की साधना. So music can be entertainment, listening. Music can give sense of accomplishment when you're performing or creating. But the ultimate thing about music is that it can join you with the universe, Nad Brahma. Rarely when I strike the note which is absolutely perfect, it rings some kind of a hormonal system in our body. The mind-body axis goes into a fabulous Zen zone, whether it's the listener or the singer. One of my best experiences was Pandit Jasraj ji singing early morning rags at the Gateway of India on 26th January. It was a Pancham Nishad show. And in the morning, just as the sun rays were coming from my left corner of my eye, the light, the sound, the temperature, the breeze, I don't know whether I wanted anything more in life. That is the power of music. But before we go there, I'll tell you what is stress all about. Since Kam Sutra deals with.
But there are
Yeah,
so
Shail.
many, there are so many kind of versions about stress, and everybody knows that a lot of diseases are multifactorial, but one factor to this problem was stress. So I think this
Yes.
is very crucial for us to understand your Baba Kamdev's view of stress.
So गाने के माध्यम से ही लेते हैं, because now stress is a stimulus which comes to us. Like a partner has left a person and gone. If there is a response, I would say a reaction of anger, मेरे महबूब कयामत होगी, आज रुसवा तेरी गलियों में मुहब्बत होगी. This is a strong reaction to being dumped by the lover. He actually, this is what from a stress stimulus. The same thing could go to another person who could go into melancholic depression. I remember our psychiatry teacher there will be a fight or flight reaction when acute stress comes in your life. Here, our hero, who was brilliant actor, singer, Kishore Kumarji, sang this so beautifully, but hidden in that was a sharp given कि मेरी तरह तू भी सफ़र करे. The other one is Raj Kapoor, who जाने कहाँ गए वो दिन, कहते थे तेरी राह में नजरों को हम बिछाएंगे.
Love you, doctor.
Did I go off a bit?
No, no, no.
Off the screen?
No, no, you are on.
I was on because there's technology. Technology. Today we are united by technology.
Right.
Even I'm singing. I'm enjoying. I don't know the reaction of people. I hope you are there, not gone back to sleep. The fun of performing live, where you get an instant reaction, and doing through the electronic media, two different things. But I am enjoying equally because I enjoy music. एंड कोई ऐसे फ्री में बकरा मिलता है सुनने के लिए तो छोड़ने का नहीं.
नहीं, ये 8 बजे संडे वाला एक रेनेसांस है. तो एक अलग एनर्जी आएगा. और ये मेरे
Okay.
हमारे सबके लिए बहुत जरूरी था क्योंकि इतना पैंडेमिक ये वो सब चल रहा है. उसमें ये म्यूजिक
Yeah.
बहुत जरूरी है.
So now this rag also, राग शिवरंजनी, उसमें एक मेलेंकली है. और ये जो हिंदुस्तानी रागों को म्यूजिक कंपोजर्स ने यूज़ किया है एंड दे हैव ब्रॉट इट आउट ऑन अ प्लैटर टू अस, वेयर द इमोशन which is injected by the lyrics, of course, the composition which is when based on a traditional rag, where there is a bhav in that rag, where the melancholy comes out or celebration comes out, or the malhar, if I hope it doesn't start pouring right now to create floods, but it seems there was power in the music where when Tansen sang Rag Deepak, the lights came on. Maybe a little exaggeration, but if we go medically, music can create the right responses in our body. So if music can be entertainment, music can be sense of accomplishment, music can become meditation, music also has a therapeutic value, that you get the right kind of music to the people. And I'm not saying that a fracture will heal with music. I'll become nikamma. But if a person is having a backache which is stress related, or a person whose blood pressure is fluctuating, whose heartbeats are irregular due to stress, the music can bring about a rhythm, a sense of peace and harmony, internal harmony, which can improve our health. And music therapy is today a very well recognized subject. There are people practicing it, and there is research that even not just human beings but animals have responded to good music. Good music has yielded better milk in cows. We go one step further, that a group of plants were given 3 different kinds of music, and the ones which heard Ravi Shankarji's Rag Hamsadhwani, they started flourishing better than the other ones who were subjected to some hip hop and metal. So maybe this study was sponsored by some like-minded people, but I have every reason to believe it. What music does is, yeah,
This yoga asanas, I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at the asanas, they have been all inspired by the animals. So they're all animal poses. So if you look at every asana terminology, there is an animal pose. It's all inspired by the nature. Even if you see the 7 swaras, we all
Yeah.
know it is all related to an animal. Right. So I think there is a lot of similarity in this, and I got an amazing kind of a paper which talks about where these swaras are come from. So we have this Madhyama, Ma, which is Swarita, which is Hero, and Gandhara, Ga, which is Udatta, which is from goat, and Rishabha, Ri, Anudatta, which is from bull. So even if these seven swaras have come from nature, and there is a lot of science, I'm sure, which has gone into the classical gardens. So very insightful, Doctor. Super. So there's a lot of similarity here in terms of the animals or the nature from which everything is developed.
Absolutely, absolutely. What music does is one of the Kam Sutras is to be in the moment. What happens is that our mind is wandering all the time. Music can bring us into the moment. That's why I don't have any music in my operation theater. When I'm doing surgery, there is no music. Just like I don't do surgery when I'm listening to performing music. So our mind is best when one activity is going on centered, where all our attention is focused on that activity. And what music does, it's very easy to tell people, "Arey tension mat le yaar." As soon as you tell somebody tension mat le, the tension becomes more. You have to substitute that tension with something else which will occupy your senses at that moment, and that tension disappears. This is the age old thing that our mind is a one track mind. So when I'm doing surgery, if there's some good music, my attention will divert from the surgery to the music. Not done. So music has its place, surgery has its place, and both can exist, coexist, but not together as far as I am concerned. How music puts us in the moment? आगे भी जाने न तू, पीछे भी जाने न तू, जो भी है बस यही एक पल है, इस पल के साए में तेरा ठिकाना है, इस पल के आगे ही हर शय फसाना है. Everything is in this moment. जीने वाले सोच ले, यही वक्त है तुम्हें आरज़ू, आगे भी जाने न तू, पीछे भी जाने न तू, जो भी है बस यही एक पल है, जो भी है बस यही एक पल है. यही पल है भैया. And this is the power of now. And music can keep us in the moment. Very often when I'm doing surgery under local anesthesia, I tell the patient that I'm going to give you one injection in your knee, and please relax. Now, as soon as I say relax, the patient gets more tense. So how do I go about it? I tell the patient to focus all his mind on the muscles around the knee and tighten them. Take a deep breath and tighten your muscle. And then I tell them, exhale and let go. Exhale and let go. And when you let go, automatic relaxation happens. The more I tell the patient relax, the more tense that person gets. But when I occupy his mind with an activity where I tell them to actually tense the muscle, which he can do, obey the command, and then release, and that knee is in my hand, the injection is already done, and patient said, "Zhala ka?" I said, "Oh." So that is the power of now.
Actually, here I remember you telling me an incident. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Where you had an Arab patient. I tell this example to a lot of people. And you were about to give that injection for anesthesia. I understand it's given in the spinal cord, right? And you had the treatment, Dukat, and the patient said, "Have you taken the injection?" So I
Correct.
think is very crucial that whatever we are listening to you today, it's like you have taken the injection. It's like a thrower. If
Yep.
we are if we are teaching, have you traveled that journey? So
Yeah.
am I right in that, Doctor? That was an incident, right? If I recollect, it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What happened was this guy was uh, doing something and he fell down and broke his cartilage in his knee. And he came to us for surgery, and I said, I'm going to do the surgery. He said, well, very good. In the operation theater, I told him, now one little needle will go in your back, so just relax. I'm telling you, it will not hurt you. To that, he turned around and asked me, Doctor, have you taken the injection? So I said, no. Then he said, you have no idea how painful or not painful it is. And he said, I've taken two in the past, so I know. I'll try and relax. That was good. But this incident I tell when I'm giving a lecture, whichever topic I'm talking on, whether it is deep breathing, whether it is golf, whether it is music, whether it is exercise, whether it is nutrition, where I eat with all my senses, the way they taught me in Japan, that every activity which I have described and written in my book, I have taken the injection. So that nobody can turn around and say ki doctor तुम्ही लोकांना सांगता पण तुम्ही स्वतः करता का हे. Now you have seen whether it was good or bad. Sunday morning with a harmonium, you know, you come from your morning walk, have your cup of chai, and you sit down, and provided you know, all others are asleep, and I have locked myself in one room that I don't disturb the others, because I remember there was one friend of ours in the hostel who was trying to learn the saxophone, you know, and the sounds which were coming out, it was like some pregnant goat was denied a cesarean section, you know, that kind of sounds were coming. And I don't want to, you know, impart my so-called skills which are for myself onto people who want to have a extended sleep on a Sunday morning. So music is superb. Music has divinity, as we spoke about. Music has dance in it, because as soon as the rhythm, today I don't have the facility with these technologies, it's tough to get you know, an orchestra setup, even if it is coming from my phone, because the sound is not very balanced. People have to work harder on these softwares, and it will be superb, or maybe I have not understood how to do it. But music and dance go hand in hand. And I remember the best parties at which we have enjoyed, it was not the food and the remaining, but a superb singer like Daler Mehendi once came to Khar Gymkhana and belted out those Bhangra numbers. Now, whatever, they may be monotonous beats, but when a Punjabi Bhangra beat starts with the dhol, the reverberation of that rhythm goes into your chest somewhere here. And then you start dancing, you move your shoulders, and you go into what is known as dynamic meditation. Now, this dynamic meditation, made very popular by Osho, which I have Acharya Rajneesh in the 80s. I've gone to Pune and experienced what dynamic meditation is early in the morning. And music has this power, music has this movement, music has this lay, the tal, the rhythm, which is such an important, integral part of music. I have, luckily, you know, today there is technology.
yeah.
There is some app which is known as the iTabla Pro,
Right.
which
I think I will have to also speak that. Otherwise, I do this.
क्या बात, क्या बात, क्या बात. Beautiful, beautiful. So music has rhythm, With music, I can go back to an era of my life, association of music and memories, which is when proactively done, you can actually enjoy the fragrances and the seasons of that time, sometimes good, sometimes bad. There is one lady on Facebook who requested to sing a line of one song. Now, this is what my mother tells me, that whenever I was not having food or drinking my milk, my aunt would sing, चौदहवीं का चांद हो या आफताब हो, जो भी हो तुम खुदा की कसम लाजवाब हो. Now this was not a lullaby, but this was a food inducing tune, it seems. And I don't remember that, but I can imagine what it could have been. Another one is when I was in boarding school, we had to wake up at 5:30 for our drill and the morning exercise. Of course, exercise is superb, but for a 10-12-year-old child to get up at 5:30 and then wear your PT shoes and be out on the Maidan on a December morning in Nashik, घूंघट के पट खोल रे तुझे पिया मिलेंगे घूंघट. I still, when I hear this song or this rag comes in, I get those memories. Then I smile and said, wow, what a time it was. And the fitness fabric was created in the boarding school when you started loving exercise. The people, I tell my patients, you must walk, otherwise you'll get diabetes. You must walk, you'll get, otherwise you'll get hypertension. And people don't listen because they think, ठीक है यार, गोली खाएंगे. But those people who come out and actually taste the exercise, whether it is running or walking or swimming or cycling, and when they get the pleasure out of it, that is the time when a person becomes addicted to exercise. No amount of doctor telling that you must do this, or this will happen, varna, doesn't work. You get the person, like we had the Fit India movement some years back when
I was actually coming to that because now there is a government movement of Fit India, but I remember you had that kind of trucks or maybe those people used to move around with the Fit India movement, and I think
Yes.
one point even Amitabh Bachchan was there, right?
Absolutely.
Can you give us signs of what it was all about and how we can
Yeah.
actually take it further?
See, Fit India movement was like Kam Sutra, some figment of my twisted vocabulary that I made that tagline. The Fit India movement was to get people out of their slumber onto the beautiful suburbs, streets of Mumbai and enjoy what fitness can give you in life. And as a medical student, I had seen that when Mr. Amitabh Bachchan had said that आपकी बूंद ने मेरी जान बचाई थी, and that was the blood donation drive, that Amitabh Bachchan's poster said that your blood saved my life, and millions of bottles came in, all over the country. That was the hugest blood donation drive. So since I knew Mr. Bachchan and I could involve him in a social project, I said, why don't you come and inaugurate the Fit India movement, where we would all so over 10,000 people came in and we had a huge celebration, and that was, people came to see Mr. Bachchan because of the star value. But after 15 years, people meet me, they say, we came to see Mr. Bachchan, but that was the first day we started our fitness journey. That was the first day that we started walking.
Okay.
And we have not stopped since. Every morning we are out enjoying. So this is the power of celebrities, that they can be, I wouldn't say used, but their valuable support can spread great messages in the society.
Because this was pioneering, and 15 years back there were hardly any studios, fitness studios around. Today, at every corner
Uh,
you find a Zumba studio or a very big studio and etc. Really pioneering, and the Fit India movement and all. I mean, people go out and do exercise. That's very,
yes,
very
sir.
great.
Absolutely. So,
Yes.
and
No,
so
we
we are
have
almost at 40 minutes of आपने मुझे बहुत झेला है.
और 5 गाने झेलने हैं.
मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया. Again, this is Sahir Ludhianvi. What a simple philosophy. मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया, हर फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ाता चला गया. The same guy whose lover went and he said मेरे महबूब कयामत होगी. The other one who said जाने कहाँ गए वो दिन and went into depression. जो मिल गया उसी को मुकद्दर समझ लिया, जो मिल गया उसी को मुकद्दर समझ लिया, मुकद्दर समझ लिया, मुकद्दर समझ लिया. जो खो गया मैं उसको भुलाता चला गया. अरे आप गए, I've accepted that. What else I got, that also I've accepted. And life goes on, golf goes on, music goes on, career goes on, and I am not stuck in that moment which gave me grief. गम और खुशी में फर्क न महसूस हो जहां. This is too much of enlightenment, I think. गम और खुशी में फर्क न महसूस हो जहां, न महसूस हो जहां, न महसूस हो जहां. मैं दिल को उस मकाम पे लाता चला गया, हर फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ाता चला गया. मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभा. So this is one of my all-time favorites.
धुआं उड़ाना भी जरूरी है. वो धुआं उड़ाना नहीं चाहिए.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, नॉट द सिगरेट का धुआं. गमों को जलाकर उनका जो धुआं निकलता है वो धुआं. This is my interpretation. I don't know. I think Sahir was a smoker, and even in the movie Hum Dono, Devanand, on whom this song is, he's shown as a smoker. Ladies and gentlemen, I have given up smoking 35 years back, successfully. And the power of music is that I can make small social cause videos. If you can check out, छोड़ दो स्मोकिंग नहीं तो तू मरेगा, हा 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 लंग्स में तेरे होगा डेंजरस कैंसर, जल्दी तू मरेगा, हो छोड़ दे स्मोकिंग नहीं तो तू मरेगा. People, this is on YouTube and shared in multiple platforms. Parody is something where you take an existing tune, change a few words, and send out a strong message to the people. If I've done some contribution, even if 5 people have given up smoking after seeing this video, मेरी जो संगीत की journey की सफलता मैं समझूंगा. That I could lyrically bring about some motivation in people who were struggling to. Then there's humor in music. Now you buy a very expensive car with all your life savings and you're driving on the road and some guy spits pan ka thoo on your windshield. Now Baba Kamdev will not allow Dilip Nadkarni to get out and fight with that person. Road rage क्यों थूका, ये वो, यू नो, इट कैन एस्केलेट इनटू अ हॉरिबल रिएक्शन फ्रॉम ईदर पार्टी. ओके, उसने थूका, मेरे गाड़ी पे थूका, डेंट तो नहीं हुआ, घर जाके धो सकता हूँ. लेकिन वहाँ से जो ह्यूमर निकल के जो निकला, चाहे कोई मुझे जंगली कहे या थू, हम पान चबा कर सड़कों पर थूकते रहे या थू. अगेन चेक इट आउट ऑन यूट्यूब.
Yeah,
So,
I will reshare this now again, because now people know the context. And
हाँ,
everything is relevant.
सो चाहे कोई मुझे जंगली कहे, हाँ, कह दो जी, कहता रहे, हम पान चबाकर सड़कों पर थूकते रहे. कभी च्युइंगम, कभी बलगम, कभी पान का लाल रंग, सड़कों पर, दीवारों, लोगों पे भी थूकते हम, गंदी बीमारी फैलाते हम. वेरी रेलेवेंट इन टुडेज कोरोना.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes.
कि गंदी बीमारी फैलाते हम, चाहे कोई मुझे जंगली कहे या थू.
हाँ, वो अभी भी मुझे याद है कि अपने को फोन आता है ना, फोन सर लोन चाहिए क्या, क्रेडिट कार्ड चाहिए. And I think you have a very typical method of tackling this. If you look at it, people just require a trigger, to get agitated, trigger to fight.
Correct.
Can you share what is your method of putting up this people who say, sir, do you have a loan? Do you have a credit card? Do you have a car?
No, अरे आते हैं ना, फोन आता है. आई हैव जस्ट फिनिश सर्जरी. ऑफ कोर्स ड्यूरिंग सर्जरी द फोन इज स्विच्ड ऑफ. Dilip sir, so you know, if somebody says Mr. Dilip, कि nobody calls me Mr. Dilip, people call me all kinds of names. Friends call me, गाली बुलाते हैं, बाकी बोलते डॉक्टर साहब, या my wife calls me various names every each day, so that is different. But Mr. Dilip is different. Mr. Dilip, मैं एयरटेल से बोल रही हूँ. So I tell, जानी, कभी तो मुंह से बोला करो. Now, why should I know, and then I tell them कि boss, I know it is your job, but बख्श दो यार डॉक्टर्स को, वो DND पे डाल दो. But that doesn't happen. Then if I have time, I do reverse marketing. When they say, would you want this credit card? I said, does anybody have knee problem in your family? ये नंबर सेव करो, मेरा ईमेल भी लिख लो, neeguru@gmail.com, कि अगर किसी को नी का प्रॉब्लम रहा, कोई भी समाज में कोई भी टाइप का प्रॉब्लम, हम हाजिर हैं आपके लिए, और 2 पे 1 फ्री देते हैं और कैशबैक मिलेगा. एग्जैक्टली व्हाट दे आर गोइंग टू टेल अस, आई टेल, एंड एट द एंड आई से, एनीथिंग एल्स आई कैन डू फॉर यू.
I think this is very crucial, because in everyday life, if you find humor, if you try to know how to play that ball again, in its own game, I think a lot of the stress level can come down, because we take so many things personally. We get agitated. How dare you enter my space now? I think bang on. I mean, these are some things which have again imprinted in my mind with all your workshop, and this is a very beautiful platform to share those experiences with a lot of people to reduce those triggers, because there is stress. But are you so easily triggered? That is one thing I think we all need to be aware of, and that is what I think this all teaches us.
Yeah, the C of my ABC of A to Z of Kam Sutra is taking a calm pause. When a stressful reaction situation happens, instead of reacting immediately, like when I used to get a question paper in hand, my teacher had told me कि before you open it, डोळे बंद करून 5 लांब श्वास घ्या, गायत्री मंत्र म्हणायचं असेल तर म्हणा, आणि मग पेपर उघडा. सो those questions don't hit you like bolts. You have brought your heart rate down, you have taken a calm pause. A person who is bitten by a snake The guy who is a reactionary person will run after the snake to kill the snake. You might be successful in killing also, but by then the venom has spread and you are dead. The idea is not to run after the snake. You take a deep breath, and what it will tell you is go to the hospital and get an anti-venom. Lot of us in today's world, we take a situation at face value and what we think is the correct reaction. अरे उसको दोन कानाखाली वाजवून आलो मी, वाह. Not that you have to give the other cheek also, but do it with proper. You can give kanakhali without giving kanakhali through another method, which will come if you take a calm pause. And you know, activities like music, exercise, deep breathing, if they become part of our lives, not that we become Gautam Buddha overnight, but we will be somewhere on that journey where our reactions will become responses rather than reactions, and these are regulated to some extent. So Kam Sutra ka jo C hai, that is taking a calm pause. We used to give calm pause to our patients, na झोप येत नाही मग त्याला calm pause करून टाकलं मी.
So this is very true because in yogic practice, anybody who has done meditation, lot of his perception, things increase. Those colors which were not visible, they become visible. Those music which was not visible become visible. And I mean audible. So all these things happen, and people who have gone through this stages start to enjoy it every day. And that's what we say, hitting the yoga mat. Love it.
Superb.
Yes.
Superb. So I think if there are any questions, or if there is any, if you have questions or anybody, we can take them if time permits.
Yeah, we have time. So there is one ghazal, which I'm sure is your favorite also. Ranjish ki Sati. I think ghazals have a very beautiful, inherent calmness, and we believe that it's always, that you have to be stressfully meditative. So can we have that?
Okay, this is a ghazal. इसमें क्या किया है कि I have added one verse, keeping the same mood and tempo, which is called काफिया and रदीफ in ghazals. आप फिर से मुझे छोड़ के जाने के लिए आ, रंजिश ही सही, दिल ही दुखाने के लिए आ, रंजिश ही सही. The essence of the ghazal is that you come back to me. Even if you want to fight with me, you come back to me. But whatever you do, please come back. What I wrote, मिलजुल के जो लिखे थे मोहब्बत के फसाने, मिलजुल के जो लिखे थे मोहब्बत के फसाने, तू प्यार के वो लफ्ज़ मिटाने के लिए आ, तू प्यार के वो लफ्ज़ मिटाने के लिए आ, रंजिश ही सही, दिल ही दुखाने के लिए आ, रंजिश ही सही. So that is ghazal. Music gives wings to other forms of creativity also. When you sit with the harmonium and some words pop up, and I've been lucky to have put them into the same meter. And some of the renowned singers are singing this verse कि मिलजुल के जो लिखे थे मोहब्बत के फसाने, the love stories which we had created together, तू प्यार के वो लफ्ज़ मिटाने के लिए on that blackboard where we had written this, on that canvas which we had drawn, you come just to rub it off, but please come. आप फिर से मुझे छोड़ के जाने के लिए आ, रंजिश ही सही दिल ही दुखाने के लिए आ. मेहदी हसन साहब, इमॉर्टल, राग यमन में, दिस प्योर यमन कल्याण, when Ustad ji sings, if you put a recording at 6 p.m. dusk, a little chai in your hand, and you have done a good hard day's work, and you listen to this rag, and wow, that is bliss of music.
In fact, when you're saying this, I remember my other, there was a mangola drink which was coming in our school days, old days. There are so many other things. Mangola was a very beautiful mango caricature in the bottle. And my professor used to say that if I put that in one glass, a breakable transparent glass, and you see those fine droplets when it starts getting into room temperature, and I have it sip by sip. And at that time, I did not know the kind of meditative thing he was talking about. But I think there is a lot of things that we can find in meditative things in every day. You cannot
Yes.
go to the practice, and maybe, even there it's said that there are so many fields now. But if you start meditating, somebody comes in, someone feels he's from Guru, but he says from the municipality to remove the mosquitoes and all. So I think very important that we find solace where we are in our daily life. But one question which I am compelled, because this is one aspect of your life, find time out, and from that you have created something which is known as a golf. Golf,
Yeah.
I think this is an area where a lot of people need to attend, hold a stick, and there is a lot of things beyond that particular stick. A few words on golf.
Yeah, see, I was a table tennis player, played for the city and university, and then I went on to tennis, played good level at Khar Gymkhana. Sport has always been my passion. We went to a hill station called Munnar, and it started raining, and our tennis game was finished because the courts were flooded. But the golf course was not flooded because they have drainage systems there. And one young boy said, Sir, hit golf. So I said, what golf? That is for old people. He said, no, sir, you hit. And as I would say, beginner's luck. When I connected that ball, the first shot I've ever hit in my life, I've never hit, I think, even after that with training and practice, that ball went boom, some 200 meters and right down the fairway. I was holding the club in an odd baseball manner, but somehow hand-eye coordination, rapang, the ball went. And that sensation which I got, the kind of, you are in the moment again in sport. When you are playing table tennis, you are in the moment. You cannot be here and there. When you are taking a deep breath before you release your golf club, you are in a meditative state, is what I have realized now. That when you are walking those greens, you are walking about 10 kilometers, you are in the company of birds, you sometimes snakes who go harmlessly past you, rabbits, peacocks. I have seen peacocks in Delhi. I have seen some wild animals in Africa. Of course, alligators in Florida. So all kinds of, and human beings who are more dangerous, your co-golfers,
Okay.
So you are in surroundings, you make friendships, your personality comes out on a platter. You can't hide it on the golf course. You meet people and you know what they are really. ये सचमुच उस्ताद है क्या जैसा he poses, or he is ordinary guy. A big industrialist I was playing, and he was taking tips from me, because I was slightly better than him, and he was absolutely at down to earth level that I couldn't imagine this is the guy with so many thousands of crores. that when he comes on the golf course, he and I are, in the same wavelength. So the friendships you make with people, the beautiful hours you spend together, it is a physical exercise, it is a mental meditation, it keeps your mind active, and it gives you a break from the pollution and the worries. So my if and today golf has become affordable. You don't have to be a very elite person to get a membership. You can uh, uh, pay and play. It's not too exorbitant, and I would definitely, because I've taken the injection, and I know the benefits of that.
So thank you so much, doctor. It has been a phenomenal, a storm plus thing, and this is not nothing but yoga at a different level. So lovely having you. It was a very humbling experience, very honored, because it's kind of a coming together of a lot of things over a period of so many years. And we touched base about it 13 years back. And it's a very beautiful moment for me personally also. For everybody on Sales Community, the kind of vision which you are carrying for health and wellness on a very different matter. So thank you so much for taking us to that level.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Shailesh, and all my dear people who have tuned in. Have a great Sunday and a great life ahead. Calm Sutra to you. Bye.